Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We've heard a lot about property taxes thus far, but what we do know is people are unhappy with the current system of financing education. Individuals have brought up gaming. Gaming has brought $600 million in property tax reduction for homeowners. $600 million. Amendment A01564, we're talking about $4.2 billion. Slot revenue doesn't grow. It hasn't grown. We've had oversaturation, which was actually brought up when we were debating this to begin with. This is tax revenue that naturally grows and will continue to drive money towards property tax relief in the out years. I stand today in support of A01564. Provides one of the largest school property tax cuts in the history of the Commonwealth, $4.9 billion when you include current slot revenue. Average of 50% reduction for homeowners. All property tax payers will receive reductions, businesses and individuals alike. Renters whose rent is predicated on property taxes will either see reductions or less increases, on top of increases to the property tax rent rebate program, which is in this amendment. Will provide long-term and substantial property tax relief, unlike gaming. More importantly, Mr. Speaker, this changes how we fund education in this Commonwealth. Right now, we can't tell school districts how much money they will be getting. We have not done a budget yet, and they are predicating their budgets on an unknown amount. Mr. Speaker, this amendment will ensure school districts have notification of the allocation they will get prior to the June deadline. That's important for local budgeting and allowing school districts to make spending decisions at the local level. It creates less burden on taxpayers. By reducing the millage rates of the personal income tax increase, you automatically reduce out-year property tax increases. And you provide relief to all property tax payers, just not homeowners. Sales tax revenue will go to homeowners directly. That $1.56 billion will be driven out to primary residence homeowners. That's what gets you to the 50% reduction for homeowners and drive it to those who are calling the highest for property tax relief in their areas. For the first time, state government is guaranteeing school districts a predictable line of funding, which they will know prior to June. Through current school financing, school districts right now are setting budgets where they're either predicting a zero increase and hoping for the best. We allow them to reopen their budget, but they just don't know. They don't know how much money they will be getting. With the guaranteed state funding that this amendment provides, it ensures that state funding will always offset property tax increases to protect taxpayers in the out years. The goal of this is not for more taxes or higher taxes. It's to redo how we do state funding to make sure the state share is where it's supposed to be at, as well as providing relief at the local level. If we guarantee money, school districts shouldn't have to raise it, and that's what this bill does. It ensures Harrisburg does not become a super school board. We didn't get elected to school board, we got elected to state government. We have other priorities than just education. While it's one of the most critical issues we deal with, we're not dealing with the minutia that school board directors have to deal with. Mr. Speaker, we protect school districts. If state tax revenue fails, we pull sales tax revenue to make sure the millage rates we force school districts to do, make sure we fund at the state level. It's important to school financing that we guarantee that. We require the department to check school district reporting to verify that school districts are utilizing the tax reductions in the proper way, something that is not done now. More importantly, Mr. Speaker, we require school districts to send property tax bill with last year's payments so property owners can actually see the reductions. As one of my previous commenters commented, right now it looks like we just devalue their house for slot revenue. They actually don't see the reductions. They don't feel it. With this bill, Mr. Speaker, that $4.2 billion in property tax relief will be seen by them because we'll require school districts to actually place it in there. Everyone will see their property tax reductions. Mr. Speaker, it's time to act. Amendment A01564 provides predictability in school funding, reforms an antiquated school finance system that everyone agrees is broken. We fix the problem, and we can start moving forward with substantial ways to help school districts further reduce costs. But Mr. Speaker, this is important to the taxpayers of this Commonwealth to reform our system, increase the state share in a dollar-for-dollar shift. None of this money is going to the general fund. It is going right back to the taxpayers of Pennsylvania where it belongs. Mr. Speaker, I would appreciate my colleagues' support for A01564. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.